Jacobina de Rivera, a sexologist from Mexico. So my next question to you, what is the main thing in sex? What is sex?
What do you mean about the main thing?
Like maybe sympathy, love, trust each other, to be an interesting persons to each other, yeah. That emotional contact maybe first.
For me, it's
Yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
For me, sex is definitely not related to love at all. No, and for me, it's not necessarily connected to feelings either. For me, but I understand that there are some people that they require that to have sexual intercourse with someone. For me, it's not. For me, it's more, I don't know. I'm very pragmatic, and for me, it's being on the same practices. That a person understands no means no. I think that that's one of the most important things. Like, I analyze the person before, like, I'll say that's one of my filters as well. That maybe understanding if I say no, they understand that I mean no at the first time.
Is it true that you understand if you want somebody, you will understand it in the first minute you see the person? Or seconds, even seconds?
I need 10 minutes
10
talking with
minutes.
a person. So to make my first impression about the person, I could make a very quick scanning in 10 minutes.
As everybody.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes, isn't it so long time? I heard that it's enough maybe 1 minute.
It depends on what exactly you are looking for, but for example, for me, to be able to do to agree to certain circumstances, I'll need at least 10 minutes talking with the person.
What is sex? Just...
I think sex, it has very different branches. It's not just one thing. It's not just, again, the penetration of one penis inside of one vagina, and that's about it. I think it's the way we relate to each other. I think it's the way we live our lives with each other. Sex, there is the nature of sex, that is reproduction, but we are one of the 3 animals that we just have sex for pleasure. All the other animals, they have their biological circumstances, and they have their heat periods, and they have like other motives. But we are one of those animals that we like sex, having sex. We all do. There are some others that they call the asexual people. They don't like sex. They don't like having approach with sex. They describe themselves as not having the desire of it, but that's also a sexual representation. I think there are a lot of our practices around sex itself that right now I don't feel able to give one answer about what sex is. You know, I think it's something that moves the world. It's a practice that moves the world.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
Great. answer. And what makes a woman sexy? And what makes a man sexy? And the third question: should sexologist be sexual attractive?
I think that will depend a lot in what person thinks it's attractive, because there are some cultures that they like lighter, whiter. There are some that they like darker. There are some that they like blonde. There are some that they like blue eyes. There are some that they like, for example, the Chinese, that they used to have this practice of making the feet very, very small for women so they weren't able to walk by themselves. So there are so many ideas of what beauty is that I think it's very complicated to say what makes sexy, because to someone, like what I think is sexy, it might not be your idea of sexy. For example, for me, that someone speaks more than 5 languages, for me is super sexy. Or that someone who can explain to me gravitational theory, it's super sexy. But I understand that for some people, it will be like, oh.
But nobody knows what is gravitation. Yeah.
I know some people who studies that, so
okay.
and I think they are super sexy, you know. I'll say in a general matter, for something that I had been learning in practices, I think is related to attitude, related to security. That if a person feels secure, if a person feels like has a self-esteem,
high self-esteem.
not necessarily high, but good enough, like in a good position, that they know their value, that they know what they want, that they have the security of just standing somewhere and being themselves, I think that's very sexy. That that they know what they want, and they know what they are trying to achieve. So I think in a general matter, I'll say that that's what people should try to achieve, instead of trying being someone that they might not be naturally.
Be natural, yeah? Be yourself, be natural.
Yeah.
Both men and women.
Yeah, I'll say so. I think it's more. I think it's more realistic, more honest with ourselves, and just, for example, I understand that I will never look like a Victoria's Secret model. I need to be born in a very different country, in a very different family, to be able to be a Victoria's Secret model. I won't. But currently, I feel okay with what I'm achieving, and I like, for example, the way I dress. Like, this is the way I dress in every single moment of my life. Perhaps just the gloves are like a bit extra, and the mask for any of my sessions. But this is the way I look on a daily basis. And I feel good with that person. I feel good also like with the character that I am, because I see myself as a character. And that it has different extensions of it. So being a dominatrix is a different character from the person that it might be on the office, for example, working, but it's also the same person. It are just different shades. And I don't think like a dominatrix itself or a sexologist, they aim to be this idea of what sexy could be, like this blonde, tall, super skinny woman, Scandinavian woman. I don't think that's necessarily. I think it's about attitude. I think it's about knowledge. I think it's about mastering the practices that make us what we are.